Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Divestments coming to you with another short video. Hey, first of all, I'd like to send a shout out to my two new students, DC and Sonya. DC is a returning student and Sonya is brand new. So I'm excited about my two new students and they seem to be excited about what they're learning. So today I'm going to be talking about price action. Okay. And this applies to any stock or any instrument that you're trading. Um, Also, let me remind you that this is not investment advice. This is for educational purposes only. The information here that I provided is just for your study purposes only. So again, we're going to be talking about price action today. All right. And what does the daily price action tells us? Okay. The price action tells us where price currently is, where price can go, which could be the high of the day, where price has been, which could be the low of the day, and where price can go back and revisit that high or the low of the day. Now you want to look at price action two times during the day if you're around, okay? If you're not around for like the whole trading day, then if you're only around for the morning session, then you're going to be looking at price action between 10 and 10:30. So that's going to be, you're going to be looking at price action between the time the market opens at 9:30, and then you're going to be getting your numbers between 10 and 10:30. If you're doing the afternoon session, then you're going to be looking at price action that has happened from 9:30 to 12 noon because you're going to be looking to trade that afternoon session before the market closes at 4 o'clock. So you're going to get the high of the day, which would be resistance between 10 and 10:30 or after 12 noon. And you're going to get the low of the day, which is support. And you're going to look at that between 10 and 10:30, and then after 12 if you're around during that for that afternoon session. And then at the final, you're going to be looking at the close of the day. Now you could look at the close of the day price, either the close of that day. If you don't see it, if you're not around, that's fine. You can just go in and look at what the close is, or you can look at the close of the previous day, when the market opens and you start to, I mean, when you start studying for the current market day. So it will be before the market open. So I usually do at 9 o'clock. I hop on, I start, looking at stuff for the day between 8:30 and 9. I start looking at stuff for the current day. That's when I look at the close price if I'm not around to see the close. So with those prices that I just mentioned, it's going to be the high of the day, the low of the day. I combine those prices with my moving averages, my 20 simple moving average and my 200 simple moving average on my 2-minute chart. So basically, all I have is high of the day, low of the day, my 20, my 200, and I'm on a 2-minute chart. I'm always on a 2-minute chart. Okay. I don't trade off of, a 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart. I trade off a 2-minute chart. And that's what I do. You may trade off a 15-minute chart or a 5-minute chart, whatever time frame you want to trade off of, that's fine. But you can still use these principles. So let's look into our crystal ball and see what the charts are doing. So this is a chart of today. All right. As you can see, I took this screenshot between 1 and 1:30 today. You can see the time down here. Okay, so it was between 1 and 1:30 today. It is currently 2:11 p.m. as I am taping this. All right, so our time frame that we're going to be looking at taking numbers is between 10 and 10:30. So if I look at this time frame between 10 and 10:30, okay, my high of the day was 525.25 and the low of the day was 520.62. Now that's just for that time frame. That's between 9:30 when the market opened and 10:30 when I took these numbers. Between 10 and 10:30 when I took these numbers. So we're looking at 525, 523.25 and 520.62. That's the high and the low of the day. And I've got my 20 here, which is the blue line, and my 200, which is the red line. All right. So like I said, before 12 o'clock p.m., these were my two numbers. Okay, if we go back and look, after 12 o'clock p.m., the stock made a new high. So 526.30. It's still at the low of 520.62, but the high is 526.36. Okay. So we can see now, you can look at this is a chart. So this is what price has done um the whole day since I started, making this video. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a formula to be able to get the a number for the 50% movement of that day. All right. So the 50% movement of that day is 521.94. Before 12 o'clock, the 50% movement was 521.94. That was price. So if we go back and look at this chart, this is letting us know that 521.54 is the 50% price mark of this move right here from 523.25 to 520.62. And the 50%, that means that's halfway. Okay, this is halfway. So if price is above that, we're looking to go bullish. If price is below the 50% mark, we're looking for a bearish entry. Uh-oh, let's get back to where we need to be. All righty. So that was our price mark. 521.94 was the 50% of the morning move, and 523.49 is 50% of the afternoon move. All right. So all we really did was just split the day up into two halves, before 12, after 12. All right. So let's look at the formula itself. It's going to be the high of the day, which is HOD, minus the low of the day, which is LOD, and that's going to give us a number. That number divided by 2 is going to give us our factor. And then it's going to be the high of the day minus the factor. That number is going to be the 50% move of the day. So the high of the day minus the factor will give you the 50% move of the day. And if you take the low of the day plus the factor, that's going to give you the 50% move of the day. These two numbers are going to be the same. Whether you add the factor to the high of the day, whether you subtract the factor from the high of the day or you add the factor to the low of the day, it's going to give you the same number. So whichever one you feel comfortable doing, it doesn't matter. So if you take a look at the chart here, off of what we knew from this morning, around 10:30, okay, we knew that the high of the day was 525 523.25. So once price broke out of that 523.25 range, it was a go. It was a go. We had price trading at 523.25. We got price trading above the 20, and it just broke out of the 200. And what did the 20 do? The 20 just crossed over its big brother, and now it's the boss. And price is just riding all the way up. So my exit today was 525.50 was my exit price today. Okay. And I can go over how I got that number, but 525.50 was my exit price today. So I got out at 525.50. Had a nice little run from this 523.25 all the way up. And that was my trading day today. So this is a slide from from basically that I use in my class. And I talk about, slavery, and I talk about, relating this to the stock market. So I look at the whole slave trade and market as the stock market itself. The slave papers, stock certificate, the 40 acres and a mule that they speak of, that's the wealth. And this reading, writing, and math is the power. So today, using the power, which is a little bit of math, the numbers, and you use a little bit of math, it gave you a lot of power today to be able to make money in the stock market and to know where price was going. You knew where price was going. Once it broke out of the high or the low of the day, you knew where price was going with just a little bit of math. So I say that to say this: learn how to trade stocks and options, get your wealth from the stock market, educate yourself, and gain the power. Have a good day.